temperature and ability to cut off the ring is more, and he's bigger and stronger, and I think there's a risk there for Crawford. But this is why you tune in, right? Crawford keeps doing the amazing.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are here to restore boxing's glory, erasing the embarrassment left by the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul spectacle. Let's be honest, that was more show than sport. Now, Crawford and Canelo are stepping in to remind fans what real greatness in the ring looks like.
Looking for the big fights, Crawford, Canelo, and now we're preparing for this. You want to do everything, Crawford.
Their May 2025 clash is a tribute to boxing's legacy, a pure, untainted battle of skill, determination, and heart.
Yo, Turk. Tell him you going for Canelo next. Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
These two undisputed champions are entering the ring not for fame, but to cement their place as the true kings of the sport. The Tyson-Paul fiasco? It'll be a distant memory once Crawford and Canelo deliver a masterclass that leaves us all in awe. Get ready for a fight so authentic, so monumental, it will dominate every conversation in the boxing world.
Text me yesterday if it's possible to talk about the Crawford fight from February or meet to yesterday here in Los Angeles.
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, two undisputed champions from completely different weight classes, are set to share one stage that could redefine the limits of what's possible in boxing. If you thought Crawford's domination of Errol Spence Jr. in 2023 was legendary, this fight promises to elevate the sport to an entirely new level.
Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right.
Crawford may be 36, but don't let that number fool you. He's an absolute beast in the ring. The first fighter in the four-belt era to become undisputed in two weight divisions, Crawford didn't just defeat Errol Spence Jr., he dismantled him with a ninth-round TKO that looked more like a sparring session. He's been tearing through weight classes like levels in a video game. And now he's ready to leap an astonishing 21 pounds to face Canelo. Yes, 21 pounds. It's not just a challenge, it's borderline insane. But if anyone can defy the odds and make the impossible happen, it's Bud.
How can you, a man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can.
Let's talk about Canelo Alvarez, the 33-year-old king of the super middleweight division. With a record of 59-22 and 39 knockouts, he's ruled the 168-pound division like an unstoppable force. Just last year, he dismantled Jaime Munguia and Edgar Berlanga with ease. Canelo's power, precision, and adaptability make him one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. He's even shown he can hold his own against bigger opponents. Well, aside from Dimitri Bivol, but let's not linger on that too much.
Like Ali Sheikh say that he sent you an offer, possibly to face Crawford for coming up here. Is that true, or what happened with that?
No, I don't have any offer. And look, I'm 100% focused on this fight. And then.
Why does this fight matter so much? It's more than just a clash of champions. It's about legacy. Crawford is making the bold move of stepping up two weight classes, pitting his speed and technical brilliance against Canelo's size and raw power. This is the kind of fight where careers are either solidified as legendary or completely redefined. And then there's Saudi Arabia. The land of oil and limitless wealth is stepping in to make this showdown a reality. Rumor has it the paydays being discussed are record-breaking. And when record-breaking and boxing are in the same sentence, you know it's serious money. The Saudis have been throwing massive amounts of cash at combat sports, and this fight could easily become their crown jewel.
That Crawford could beat him, because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for.
Let's not pretend this will be a cakewalk for Crawford. Sure, he moved up to 154 pounds and took out Israel Madrimov to claim the WBA world title, a hugely impressive feat. But 168 pounds? That's a whole different challenge. We're talking about adding 14 more pounds to his frame, and that's where things get tricky. Speed, stamina, power. How much of it holds up when you're carrying the equivalent of 2 Thanksgiving dinners?
Bringing up Canelo, I think that's weird, because you'd have to gain 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense with Terence Crawford.
Well, catch weight. You can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
I like 160 or something.
You said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158.
Experts are already weighing in, and opinions are split. They could Benavidez, who knows a thing or two about taking on bigger opponents, thinks Crawford might be biting off more than he can chew. On the other hand, Demetrius Andrade praises Crawford's skills but admits Canelo's size and agility could be overwhelming. These aren't just hot takes, they're valid concerns. Meanwhile, Canelo hasn't exactly been eager to jump into this fight. Initially, he dismissed the idea, saying it wasn't the right matchup. And honestly, you can see his point. If he wins, critics will say Crawford was too small. If he loses, the internet would have a field day. But then the Saudis came in with their deep pockets, and suddenly Canelo's tune changed. Recently, he hinted he might be open to the fight if the price is right.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, a showdown that could redefine boxing history. On one side, you have Crawford, a technical mastermind who dissects his opponents like he's solving a puzzle. On the other, Canelo, a powerhouse who's dominated the 168-pound division with an iron fist. This fight isn't just about titles or money. Well, maybe a little about money. It's about legacy, risk, and a stage grand enough to showcase the greatness of both fighters.
If Crawford and Canelo were to come to fruition, you see that being competitive, still even with a 21-pound difference, Jim?
If I'm Crawford, I don't want to have to go up to 168 pounds to get the fight. I want to somehow gull Canelo into thinking that it's okay to fight him at, best of all possible world.
Let's start with Crawford. This guy is a master of adaptability. Against Errol Spence Jr., he didn't just win. He delivered a performance so one-sided it felt like Spence had stumbled into the wrong sport. Crawford landed 50% of his power punches, while Spence could manage only 13%. That's not just dominance, that's a boxing clinic. And it's not just Spence. Crawford does this to everyone. He spots his opponent's weaknesses mid-fight, exploits them, and makes it look effortless. Crawford's move up in weight has been, let's say, an adventure. Against Israel Madrimov, he completely shifted his style, becoming more aggressive and relying less on his usual movement. Trading punches with a bigger opponent was a bold move, but it worked, sort of. While he got the win, it raised questions about how his power translates to higher weight classes. At 168 pounds, he's stepping into uncharted territory, where the fighters aren't just bigger, they're built to absorb the kind of punches that would flatten smaller opponents. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Crawford hasn't been knocking out bigger guys the way he did it in the lower divisions. Facing someone like Canelo, who's made a career out of taking massive shots, could be a serious problem for Crawford.
Looking for the big fights. Crawford, Canelo, now we're preparing for this. You want to do everything, Crawford.
Canelo's ability to cut off the ring and apply relentless pressure is second to none. He's taken down technical fighters, power punchers, and everyone in between, with a knockout rate of 65% at 168 pounds. His power is the kind that makes opponents reconsider their life choices. But even Canelo isn't flawless. His punch output tends to dip in the later rounds, and against a fighter as mobile as Crawford, that could become a significant problem. We saw this against Dimitri Bivol, where Canelo struggled to keep up with the more agile opponent. If Crawford can exploit that same weakness, we might just have a real fight on our hands.
Power.
Worry about no power? Yeah. We're not to roll with punches. We're not to take power. You take your power away from me. How you take a power punch? Take the power away from a puncher. Let us know. No, I ain't gonna tell you. You should know.
Slide off, take something off the shot here and there.
That's what
Of course, the experts have plenty to say. David Benavides believes Crawford is stepping into dangerous territory, as the bigger guys at 168 can take punches that would flatten welterweights, and Canelo's experience at this weight could be the deciding factor. Demetrius Andrade, while a huge fan of Crawford's technical skills, isn't fully convinced. He respects Crawford's game, but doubts he can overcome Canelo's size, strength, and adaptability. Meanwhile, Saudi promoters are tossing around money like it's nothing, offering each fighter between $50 million and $100 million. Yes, you read that right. The Saudis are building a reputation for hosting mega events, and this fight fits perfectly into their vision. It's not just about the money. It's about putting boxing on a global stage and making these dream matchups a reality.
Canelo versus Crawford, the biggest fight in the game.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like when you're looking at Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, this is the next thing.
For Crawford, this fight is about proving that skill can outweigh size. A win would cement his legacy as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters ever. He's not just chasing a payday, he's chasing history. But let's be real. This is the biggest challenge of his career, and the odds are stacked against him. For Canelo, it's about silencing the doubters. A victory over Crawford would add yet another chapter to his already legendary resume. And let's not forget, Canelo thrives on taking risks. Whether it's moving up to face bigger opponents or taking on technically superior fighters, he's never shied away from a challenge. So what's the deal? Fans are split. Canelo's size, power, and experience make him the favorite, but Crawford's speed, technique, and adaptability make him the wild card. This fight is the definition of unpredictable, and that's what makes it so exciting. Everyone has an opinion, but no one truly knows how it will unfold until these two step into the ring. This isn't just another fight, it's a moment. A clash of two undisputed champions, each with everything to lose and even more to gain. With Saudi money on the table, it's looking good. This could be the fight of the century, and it's the kind of event boxing fans will talk about for decades. Buckle up, because this is going to be huge.